Let's see. Henry's dad starts working for Yamaki. In fact, it's revealed that he and a group of people called the Monster Makers actually created the digital world as a game, which then evolved into a real, like, flesh and blood universe. Jerry actually becomes the Digimon Tamer. Yeah, her Digimon partner is, oh boy, it's Leomon. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. The Digimon reach ultimate level. The kids try to track down this guy named Shibumi, who was one of the monster makers, who also, like, those blue cards that, like, made them Digimon Tamers. We also get backstory for Impmon that implies that he had human partners a while ago, but then left them and became this sort of anti-human punk. And this is before he goes and tries to prove he's strong by fighting off one of the super powerful Devas, but just getting utterly massacred, only to be saved by Renamon. But then he goes into hiding and then starts talking to this bright light, which promises him ultimate power. We'll get back to that. Then a lot of stuff happens in the last few episodes. This giant pig Deva invades the city and starts destroying it. Yamaki tries to boot up the Juggernaut program again, and it doesn't work again. This monkey Deva steals Calamon because apparently it holds the key to Digievolution or something. He's very important to the Digimon. But yeah, the kids destroyed the pig Deva, and then they say they are gonna go to the digital world and retrieve Calamon because that's where the monkey Deva took him. And they're gonna go to the digital world through a portal that Guilmon found in his little, I don't know, nest area. And Yamaki turns into a good guy and says he's gonna help him out. He's learned to accept Digimon and junk. And also, before our heroes leave for the digital world to go on an adventure, they just decide to bring Kenta and Kazu along, even though they have absolutely no reason to, because these guys have no Digimon. But that's for the next part. Right now, I'm just gonna give my thoughts about this first arc. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I legitimately love this first arc. Like I said before, it's heavily centered on character, which is something I really do like to see a Digimon season attempt, which is to have, like, the characters be more of the center focus than the environment, or, well, the Digimon are the center focus also, but they're given actual, like, characteristics and traits, and they bounce off their Digimon Tamers pretty well, I think. But once again, this is all stuff I want to save for when I talk about their characters individually. But as I'm saying this, I do see why people don't like this first arc, especially the beginning, because it is just, there is no real plot. It is just these kids learning about each other and trying to figure out what's going on with these Digimon. And each kid has their own perspective, and there are some times I'm just sitting there wishing there was some sort of story structure. Because Yamaki is the villain, I guess. But for the first half, actually throughout the whole first arc, he doesn't really do anything that's directly connected to the kids. He does one thing, but it's not intentional. Like, he builds this computer program that's supposed to stop Digimon from coming through to Earth, but it breaks and ends up just consuming Guilmon, and the kids have to go save him. It's not even like an intentional attack. He just messed up because Yamaki's kind of a dumbass. I just wish he was more of an antagonist to these kids. I mean, I know he's looking at, like, the bigger picture of destroying all the Digimon and doesn't want to be bothered with, like, 3 kids. But you think after the first Juggernaut breaks down and fails, and he tries to start blaming Henry and Takato for the failure, you'd think at that point he'd try to, like, lock in on them a little bit and try to destroy them individually. I mean, he does get Henry's dad to work for him, but still, it's... he knows who they are, and he doesn't try to, like, confiscate their Digimon or even arrest them. You are the head of Hypnos. You are literally the dream police. Go make these kids' lives more difficult to try to achieve your master genocidal plan. But in this show's defense, it is trying to just set up a lot of characters, most of whom are just minor characters during the first arc, but become major players during the second and third arc. So the show's doing that. It's also trying to set up like relationships between the kids and the parents, which is something I also like. But there is one problem to this character, this hyper character focus. If you don't like a character, chances are there are going to be several episodes that focus on that character, and you are not going to be able to take it because of how much detail goes into it. Like, there is an episode, I'm not a big Calamon fan, but there is an episode that entirely revolves around Calamon destroying the school soccer field. Or not even destroying it, just mildly inconveniencing the gym coach by rubbing white chalk all over it. And that's the entire episode. Henry and Takato have to figure out how to stop Calamon from messing up the soccer field every night. Yeah! Digimon adventures! Fighting creatures from another universe, crossing across a magical plane, trying to stop a small white Digimon from messing up the sports equipment. Yeah, those episodes are really lame, but the ones with Rika are always really good. The ones with Takato are usually okay or pretty good. The ones with Henry are fine, but his whole like Neville Chamberlain routine of, oh god, why are Digimon fighting? I don't understand this, gets really annoying sometimes. Especially when like Terriermon is saying, I have to go stop this evil Digimon before he destroys like the entire city. And Henry just goes, wait Terriermon, let's see if we can try to reason with the giant monkey with a cannon for a hand. I think I can get through to him. And they always end up just killing him anyway. The episodes focusing on Jerry are fine. I like Jerry. I like the fact that she became a tamer. The ones focusing on Kenta and Kazu are always terrible. Always, always, always terrible. In fact, anything they're associated with is terrible. But yeah, this first arc, it's just very different from the way Digimon usually handles things, because it just changes so many rules about how Digimon work, you know, with like the mist and the cards and just the evolutions. And they have the advantage of not needing to like set up the setting, because it just takes place in the real world. You don't need to elaborate and explain the setting at all to us, because we can just assume what it's like. And our main heroes don't need like an introduction to Digimon, because they already know what Digimon are. In fact, Rika and Henry have had Digimon for a while. So Takato is like the only kid that needs to be caught up. But at the same time, he is like such a huge Digimon nerd. He knows a lot of stuff about Digimon already, so he's not starting from scratch. And the show just used all that time that they would have needed to elaborate on the setting and all this other stuff. They just said, well, we'll just take that time and just instead focus on developing the relationship between these characters, so we can see how, you know, their friendship with each other just grows over time, and how originally they just didn't like each other, they didn't want to hang out, and by the end of this, they're like the best of friends. And I like seeing that growth. And I like that. And it does, and the relationship between the characters doesn't seem rushed or forced. It does take its time. The big problem is that it takes also a long time for the plot to get started. And they had to sacrifice Yamaki time for Rika getting raped by Ice Demon time. Wait, what? I think I'm gonna end it off here on that note. Next time I'm gonna try to finish the plot. I'm pretty sure I can, you know, cover the second and third arc in the next episode. I'm not gonna make any promises, because Digimon Tamers, I've realized, is a very awkward season to talk about when you try to omit like all the character stuff and instead just try to focus strictly on plot. I can't help but feel like this turned out to be a massive train wreck of an episode. But whatever, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I gotta go to bed. Good night. See you next time.
Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone, digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. Exhuming things that's better left alone. I'm resurrecting memories of a love that's dead and gone. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting